Latest developments on the shooting of a Woonsocket police officer. The suspect, accused of shooting an officer in the leg yesterday, faced a judge today. Tyler Chandler was ordered held without bail after being arraigned on multiple charges, including 6 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado sat down with the chief of police. She joins us now live. What he's saying about the frightening scene and how it unfolded yesterday. Steph?
The chief says 3 of the officers involved in this overnight shooting yesterday just graduated from the academy in December, including the officer who was shot. Those officers using their training as a man was firing at them. Woonsocket Police Chief Thomas Oates says Tyler Chandler had a chance to escape police, but instead allegedly shot an officer.
By all looks of what the accounts are so far, he intentionally came back and was creeping up on the officers to re-engage them, did re-engage them, and shot them.
We sat down with Chief Oates one day after Officer Travis Young, on the job just 6 months, was shot in the leg. 22-year-old Tyler Chandler of Portsmouth is the suspect, accused of engaging police in 2 different shootouts. No one was hit in the first one, and police say Chandler ran into the woods.
He looks like he had that opportunity, especially when he was in that wooded area, that he could have continued where he was going and gotten away.
Instead, Oates says Chandler left the woods and came up behind Officer Young with the pistol. Young had a split-second warning.
What actually helped save Officer Young, was off to a distance, saw this individual walking up to where Officer Young was with another officer, and yelled over the radio to them, "Watch your back, he's behind you, he's behind you." And at that particular time, the individual opened fire and hit Officer Young.
Chief Oates was rushing to the scene at that moment.
I actually heard the officer over the radio warn of the individual behind them coming up on him, and I heard shots fired. I heard that the officer go down.
Oates then watched the suspect from the 3rd story of this condo building as a tactical team negotiated with Chandler hiding in the parking lot. He was still armed. Eventually, he gave up the gun and was taken into custody. And Officer Young is now recovering at home. He's one of 5 officers who fired their weapons yesterday. Coming up new at 6, what we know about this suspect and what's next in the investigation. Live in Providence, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
The man accused of shooting a Woonsocket police officer in the leg faces a judge. 22-year-old Tyler Chandler was charged today with 13 criminal counts, including assault with a deadly weapon. And new tonight, we've learned several of the officers involved in yesterday's dangerous exchange of gunfire are actually rookies on the force. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us now live from Providence District Court with the latest developments. Steph?
Mike, Officer Travis Young has been on the force just about 6 months, now recovering at home with a gunshot wound. Now the attention turns to the suspect and why he allegedly would have done this. Tyler Chandler is the man accused of shooting Officer Travis Young in Woonsocket early Monday, then engaging in a standoff with police. The 22-year-old is from Portsmouth and has no criminal record in any state.
We don't have a reason to why he was in Woonsocket at all, especially at 4:30 in the morning walking with a firearm in his hand.
Police Chief Thomas Oates says a patrol officer first spotted Chandler with the gun on Cumberland Street. More officers arrived, and Chandler is accused of shooting at them. They returned fire as he ran, losing them in the woods. Chief Oates says he could have escaped at that point.
What's alarming is this individual looks like at one point he was able to get out of that perimeter, but actually then came back intentionally and engaged the officers shooting at them.
Officer Travis Young, just out of the academy in December, shot in the leg. He was one of 5 officers who opened fire yesterday.
You could spend an entire career and never have to fire your weapon. What's interesting is some of these officers are within their first year of being on the job, and being faced with this event is just it's traumatic. You just never know when it's going to happen.
And so Chandler's alleged motives are still a mystery at this point. Again, no criminal record, and police in Portsmouth, where he lives, tell me their only contact with him has been a traffic ticket. He's now charged with 13 felonies, and he faces mandatory life in prison if convicted because a police officer was hurt. Live in Providence, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.